beautiful and welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video that's going to be the best of 2021. This is going to be all of the things that I have tried that's been released during this year that I think is the best of the best. Basically my favorites of the releases of 2021. I have a whole bunch of things here I want to talk about. I am super excited to be showing you all of these, and if you haven't been here before, if this is your first video here, hello, my name is Angie. I'm such a lover of beauty makeup and therefore I have a lot of favorites, a lot of really fun stuff. And if you want to see some more beauty content on your timeline, if you want to see some more colorful beauty content on your timeline, definitely do subscribe because I upload, well, normally 5 times a week, but right now it's every day until Christmas. On my channel, I do two series that I do a couple of series, but I do two series that I do monthly. And that is that I do a monthly haul where I show you all the things that I added to my collection, and then I do a monthly review roundup, ranking all the things that I added the month before, just letting you know what I thought about them, like a full review roundup of my latest haul. And the top positions from that ranking, those are going to be the things that we're going to talk about here, like from this year. I'm also going to end with some things that I haven't necessarily talked about in the rankings that are within hair, perfume, and skincare. Just things that I have added to my collection that have become like holy grails, that become part of my routine. So I want to talk about those as well. And most of those things were also released during those years. There might be some of these perfumes that weren't like, we'll get to it. So I'm going to start with makeup, and I'm going to start with non-eyeshadows. I think that's what we're going to do. And these are going to be mentioned without any like particular order. I'm just gonna start, I think I'm gonna start with foundation. One of the foundations that I reviewed fairly early this year was the Fenty Eavesdrop. I have mine in number 8. This is, well, this is like a blurring skin tint. Personally, I think it has a low coverage tint, but it doesn't have that glowy finish that some skin tints have. This one has more of a, almost like a, not matte, but it has more like a satin matte or like a velvety matte, something that has a little bit of a skin-like finish to it. The longevity of this one is amazing. I did a 12-hour wear test of this one. I've been using this quite a lot, and shade number 8 is a fairly good shade for me, but it's good that it's low coverage, but because it is slightly too light for me when I have some self-tanner on, so I wouldn't be sad actually to buy this one in another shade, and that's usually the tell sign for me that I really love a foundation, when I get it in a second shade. And I really love this one. If you were in the market for something that's easy to use, just looks matte and skin-like on the skin, you don't like something that's dewy, you don't like something that doesn't dry down, you would probably really like this one. I do have a friend that used this one and she has dry skin and she did not like this. So do keep that into consideration. I have normal skin, but I really did like this one. I think it is a really beautiful product. Some of the things that I have ranked pretty high this year is not going to be here because they weren't released this year. So I'm trying to keep this to things that were actually released this year. And one of the things, I think this ranked number 5 that month or something, but I still think that this is an awesome release and I really do recommend this one. And this is the Sephora Best Skin Ever Foundation. This is a beautiful, thin, skin-like satin matte finish. It has a medium to full coverage. It looks very easy and effortless on the skin. It doesn't look cakey. I really like this one. It has good longevity and it's the Sephora brand, so it's a fairly more on the affordable side of Sephora, so I really do recommend this one. I really like it. Will say though, I tried the concealer, the Best Skin Ever concealer. Absolutely hated it. I did not like it at all. If you want to see the worst products of 2021, that video was yesterday. If you want to see the fails, the things that I tried that really I did not like. There were 2 concealers that were released this year that I really enjoy, that I think are great concealers. First off is from Fenty. This is the Bright Fix Eye Brightener. I have mine in Deep Butter 07. This is a beautiful medium coverage, very easy to work with, liquidy and light under the skin, with like more of a satin finish. This is a beautiful concealer to use on its own. If you're the kind of person that just wants to use some concealer and doesn't want to use a foundation, this is perfect for that because it looks effortless enough on the skin so it doesn't look too obvious that you have a concealer. I personally don't like the look of a very heavy coverage concealer with no foundation. I think something like this is way better. This concealer and another medium coverage concealer that I've been using for some years now are my go-tos when I'm using something that has a lighter coverage. I really think that this concealer is really beautiful. I'm not 1,000,000% in love with the applicator, but it's still a really nice concealer, so I'm not gonna complain. Another concealer that was released this year that I really like, and this flew under the radar, I really enjoyed the Anastasia concealer that came out. I feel like Anastasia had a fall from grace when it comes to the beauty community. I'm sure that Anastasia is still selling like crazy in stores. I'm sure of it. But when it comes to the beauty community, it feels like they had a little bit of a falling out with the beauty community, and it's not as hyped on like social media as it used to be. I got mine in number 9. I bought this shade on a hunch. It is actually a pretty good shade for me. This is described as a medium with a peach undertone, and it actually works really good for me for canceling out some dark circles, which I definitely have had because I am definitely lacking a bit in sleeping. I really love this concealer. This is a full coverage concealer that has a very long longevity on me. It doesn't crease. Less is more. It's easy to work with. It's light and somewhat almost like whipped moussey. It's not too liquidy. It's creamy but not greasy. I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, it's in the best of 2021. Obviously, I like it. Captain Obvious. This bitch. While we were talking about Anastasia, this is one of the best products of 2021. I have used this so much, and this is the cream bronzer. I don't know if you can see the dip in mine. I love this one. I think it's so good. This is the golden tan. I have it in golden tan. The consistency, how it wears, how it looks, how you can use it. It works on every kind of foundation I've worked with it. It even works if you accidentally like powdered your face before. You can layer powders on top. It's so easy to work with a brush, with the sponge. I just really love this product. I think it's absolutely amazing. You get a lot of product. Like, this is heavy, packaging is cute. Really love this one. I think that this is one of the best releases this year. I really think that this is a fantastic product, and I have used this so much. Really love this one. I don't know if I mentioned, but if you're wondering what I'm wearing on my face today, I will leave that in the pinned comment. If you're wondering about the things that I have on my face, if you want to see any of these things more up close, I will leave links to absolutely everything that I'm mentioning in my video down in the description box. So check the description box for some links. When it comes to brow products, this is probably the product that's been released this year that I have used the most. I use this every time I do my makeup, unless I'm trying something else, but I mean, this is the one I'm wearing today. I think it's absolutely beautiful. This, listen, if you are looking for a brow pen that has one of those, when you like paint in some hairs, which is what I have in my in my brows today. This from NYX. This is the Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. Definitely recommend it. I've tried quite a lot of these kind of products, when you paint in hairs. I've tried with felt tip, I've tried with brush tips, I've tried drugstore, high-end, I've tried K-beauty, I've tried all of it. This is by far the best one, and it is from NYX. It is affordable, there are quite a few shades. I have the one in taupe and I have the one in ash brown, and I mix them in my brows because I want it to look somewhat like it's my brows, which it isn't. It isn't. We'll say the taupe is slightly warm leaning, but still it's not orange or green, but it's slightly more warm leaning than I would like, and that's why I mixed two colors. But I will say that product, it's so good. If you're looking for a brow pen, or if you want to try that technique, definitely get that one. Get that one. It's affordable, it's great. I definitely love it. I really love this one. I feel like this has been a little bit of a, some people think it's amazing like me. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High Mascara. That's so hard to say when English is not your first language. I think this mascara is beautiful. I fished this out of my empty bin, so I need to buy a new one. This is a pretty much dead-on dupe for the Bad Gal Bang mascara. So if you wanted to try that one, or if you like it and you want to find a more affordable alternative, that's what this is. They have the same kind of a brush as well, very like flexible. It's a really elongating mascara. Like, you can really get long, separated, beautiful lashes, and that's what I like. This isn't really for volume. If you want really voluminous lashes, maybe this isn't the best, but I think that this mascara is beautiful. I ran out of mine and I need to buy a new one. I think it's really good. Let's talk about a blush. I had one blush, only one blush, and no highlighters. I seem to have tried no highlighters that I have loved enough to put here. It's a little bit fascinating. This is the Clinique Chic Pop Pearl. This year they released the cheek pops in a new finish, which is the pearl finish. I mean, glowy cheeks, glowy blushes have been all the rage the past 2 years, to be honest, and the pearl finish from Clinique is beautiful. It is the perfect amount of pearl, perfect amount of pigment, very easy to use. The packaging is beautiful. This one is an 03 Coral Pop, but there's a lot of different shades, and if I see this pearl finish in store, definitely getting one more. This finish, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I think it's absolutely stunning. So easy to work with. Definitely, obviously recommend because it's in this video, but I think it's such a good formula. Okay, let's talk about eye primers. I really fell head over heels for the Juvia's Place eye prime eye primer. Love these so much. They're so nice. I have it in shade 2, which is more of a medium. You can see here, it's like one shade too dark for me, but this is the perfect shade for me if I want to do something where I don't want it to be lighter up here, because most of the time I don't want it to be lighter up here. But if I'm using pastels, or if I'm using very bright colors, or if I'm using something, because this is a little bit warmer, if I use something, a shade that I don't want to be blended out into a yellow, like a pink or a blue, then I will use this, which is shade number 1, or I will mix the two. I think this is absolutely stunning. They also have a shade that's number 3, which is a deep one. I gave that to my brother's wife because she has a deep skin tone, so she's trying that one out. But I think this is absolutely stunning. I love this primer. I have normal skin type. I don't have dry or oily lids, and for me it works beautiful. Again, less is more. Don't use too much. This has a consistency that reminds me a little bit of a very heavy duty concealer, but for me this doesn't crease, and for me this really makes your eyeshadows pop, and it's super easy to blend upon. I have heard from some people that have a oilier skin that these do crease on them. If they do crease on you, try using less, because I have noticed with eye primers sometimes that the reason that they crease is that I use just too much of them. Don't use so much that you see on Instagram. You know, when it just, you don't need that much, okay? You don't need that much. Let me talk about these. I am blown away. Like, look at this packaging. Like, I've used these so much. These are the Vive Half Lash. Oh, and I'm wearing a pair today. I think that this is the Smoky and this is the Enhance, and I am wearing, I think it's called Intense. I think that that's the one I'm wearing today. Wait, the packaging is right here. Why am I speculating? Oh, it doesn't even say. Okay, so it made no sense then. Good. One of the packagings doesn't say the name, but I think it is Intense. These half lashes from Vive are amazing. I don't know if all of these styles were released this year, but I do know that Vive at least released more styles in these half lashes this year, and they are great. They are so, so, so beautiful. I love them so much. If you're like me and you love a half lash, you can see here that there's no lashes in here. There's lashes from here out. And then this part is like nothing. I love that. I think it's so pretty. I think it's so sexy. It lifts the eye. Just, oh, beautiful. The Vive half lashes are beautiful. The only downside of these is that they're only sold at the Vive website. You can't buy them, for example, at Cult Beauty that normally sells Vive. That's a little bit of a shame because I have to pay customs when I order from Vive because it is in Scotland. But it's the minor details. I have 3 lip products to talk about. The first one I mentioned is the new formula from Huda Beauty. This is the cream lipsticks. I have it in Russia. This is so beautiful. This formula is wonderful, beautiful. The packaging is stunning. The colors are really beautiful. It literally is a nude for everyone. This is it almost feels like a balm on the lips. It's shiny but still opaque, but not too goopy or thick. It goes on beautifully, so it feels comfortable and not thin, but not like thick and goopy on the lips, but it still looks opaque and shiny. Stunning formula. And I feel the same about these are called the Luster Glass lipsticks. This is the new, they reformulated this from MAC. I bought 2 shades. I have in Thanks It MAC, which is this like pinky, beigey, mauve nude color on me, and then I also have it in Business Casual, which is more of a bricky like muted red. It's super, super beautiful. This formula again is shiny and glossy on the lips, but it's not goopy to go on, but at the same time as it goes on, pretty like easy and just glides on. It doesn't feel too thick and heavy on the lips. Both of these formulas, really beautiful formulas. I definitely recommend if you are in the market for a glossy lipstick. And then these surprised me so much. This is the Sigma Renew lip oils. I can only find 2. I have 4. I have a sneaking suspicion the other 2 are in different purses because I use these all the time. These are so nice. They come in 3 different colors plus a clear one, and they are so nice. They don't really smell like anything and they don't really taste like anything. No, nothing. And they just have a very glossy, beautiful finish. The applicator is big and juicy, and it's just such a nice formula. It's a beautiful formula. Highly recommended. I've used all 4 colors. Like I said, 2 of them. Well, one color and the clear one is somewhere in my purses. It's just really beautiful, and I've found myself using this a lot. I use these, and I also love the ColourPop lip oils. Those I mentioned as favorites last year. Those are still really nice. So yeah, those are the favorites that I have. There are non-eyeshadows. Now let's get into some eyeshadow palettes. Okay, these are gonna be in no particular order. I am gonna do my annual ranking all the palettes that I tried in the year, that was released in the year. So this is basically just gonna be a sneak peek into what's gonna be the top layer of those. But I am gonna do a video where I rank all of them, and there I'm gonna include all the ones I didn't like, and also all the ones that I thought were okay, and the ones that were good but not the absolute best. So this is just gonna be my favorites, and this is again based on the ranking that I do every month. So these are going to be within no particular order. This is not a ranking or anything. This is just me mentioning. The first I'm going to mention are these small ones. These are the ColourPop quads. I have tried quads from 2 different collections, and both of those have been really good quality. I mean, the quads from ColourPop are great. I kind of want to get more. I have the Zodiac ones here, and they're great. I think this one is my favorite. This is the Secret Life of a Scorpio. Such a beautiful one. And then we have this one, Tender Loving Cancer, which is this cool tone with this plummy one. They are just so beautiful. I also have this Aries one that is like a coral orangey red, and the Taurus one that is a green brown. Can you see? Yeah. These are great quality. And I'm not like, oh, these are good for the price. No, these are great quality, high quality eyeshadows. They are as good as any like high-end formula. You don't have to pay a lot of money to get great eyeshadows, and these are A+. A+. And all of the things I'm going to be talking about here are A+, but I feel like it's important sometimes, because that's something that I've been fooled by when people are like, these eyeshadows are so great, and what they actually mean is that they're great for the price, and I feel like that's something totally different, but these are great. Not for the price, great. Let's talk about the other ColourPop that I have done, because I do have some more ColourPop. I feel like ColourPop in 2021, they killed it. They killed it with their formula. Some of the collab things that I've tried have not been as good, but overall, the palettes that haven't been collabs from ColourPop in 2021 have been this good quality. Some of the collab palettes have been as well. I'm going to talk about some of them here, but they haven't been as like predictably good as the other ones. This is the Lush Life, and I do think that this is my favorite palette from ColourPop this year. It is absolutely stunning. It is a beautiful palette. It is a, let me see so I don't blind you. It is a half neutral with some orange and a half green blue palette. This one is like a very bright green, but then we have this like almost olivey green and this like almost green leaning light gold. It is just a beautiful palette. If you wanted to add, if you like neutrals but you still want to play a little bit with some of these colors, I think this is a really good alternative. The packaging is stunning, the quality is amazing. I have loved playing with this one. I think it is an awesome palette. Definitely recommend. And I also love this one. I am so sad that this is in the plastic packaging and not in the cardboard packaging, because I like this so much better. But this is the Or Kid You Not, and the quality of this palette is, if you like dark dramatic berries, I very seldom say this on my channel, but I think you need this because it is so beautiful. It is buildable, pigmented, blendable, wonderful quality. I have loved this palette to bits. Definitely great quality, and yeah, if you like berries, don't sleep on that one. So this is a collab palette that I honestly think is such a good palette. Have I tried everything from ColourPop this year? I have not. I will, like I said, I will link all the things down below, and I will mark with a little star down below the things that were sent to me as PR. I would say that, well, I think I have bought more than 50% of the things that I'm going to be talking about today, but some of these eyeshadow palettes in particular have been sent to me as PR, like this Tinkerbell one, and I'm going to be honest, I am so happy they sent me this one because it is so pretty. This is just high quality, beautiful shadows. They made this collab so good. The only thing I don't like about this collab is that they have like glitter, not the pressed glitter in like the palette, but there's like glitter on unlike the packaging, and that one kind of gets everywhere. I don't love that, but I love the palette. Such a beautiful palette. If you had been on the fence about this one, and if you were wondering, is this a good palette or is it just like nice packaging but mediocre shadows? No, this is really good quality. I really do recommend it. Okay, let's get into some Oden's Eye. Oden's Eye has released some really good stuff this year. One of my favorites in my collection from Oden's Eye is this Oden palette. I think this is so beautiful. This has come traveling with me quite some times. This one has 2 green mattes here and a very dark plummy matte here. And then this beautiful like foresty green metallic that you can even use to like deepen up your outer corner a bit, and then 2 very high shine beautiful like slightly shifty shades. At least this one is like a peachy shifty, and then this like gunmetal. Oh, they're so beautiful. There are so many ways you can go with this palette. The quality is beautiful. The possibilities with this palette is like there are so many things you can do with this palette. You can use just this one and just blend it out and blend the edges, and you can have this dark plummy look. Like you don't even have to go green. Love the Oud palette. I think it's beautiful. This one came out in January together with this one because it was part of the Norns collection, and I also really love the big Norns palette. This is such a great palette. I really love this one. The color scheme of this is beautiful. I've actually used this quite a lot. It is like a jewel. It is like a jewel tone palette with some pops of neutrals, because you have brown, 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 these more muted mauvey purples here, and then this very interesting, this is such an interesting, because it is a gunmetal metallic with a gold sheen. So it is a cool toned with a warm sheen. Very, very interesting. And then you have some dark shadows here. This is a teal and a black, and then you have these beautiful shimmers here, and there's a multi-chrome in here as well, and this olivey green. Like, it's just a beautiful palette. The color story of this, it is literally jewel tones, high quality jewel tones. Beautiful palette. Definitely recommend this one. I also like that it's not too big. It's like a nice size. You get 16 shades. I think it's beautiful. I also have to mention, because these are palettes that I have ranked high from Oden's Eye, and that is, of course, the collab that they did. They did the legendary Diversa palettes. This I ranked #1 quite recently. I think this is the one that has, as I'm filming this at least, has sold out, and these are not being restocked. These were limited edition collab palettes. This is the I was gonna say Lonely, no, Giant Wolves, which was the collab with Annette's Makeup Corner, and then this one is the Hummingbird, which is the collab with Tina the Fancy Face. I just recently did a Instagram tutorial with this. Hopefully that is up on my Instagram if you want to see a tutorial on that one. I have done videos on all of these palettes that I'm gonna talk about. All of them, am I lying? No, all of them have dedicated videos. So if you are wondering, all of them you can find videos, and this is the one with Judy. It is called the Red Dragon palette. It is like a very spicy, like neutral palette with a pop of some reds and greens, and I think it's just a beautiful palette. And if you are not into like super brights, this might be bright enough for you. It is really good quality and really beautiful finishes in this one. I also ranked this one pretty high, and I really like the color story of this one. This was when they did the Freya collection. This was my favorite. This is the Cat's Breath palette. I really like this color story. It's so pretty. It has this dark teal and the turquoise. You can make it really fun, like look with these, and you have the orange and the dark brown and this like more peachy clay shade, and then these beautiful shimmers. This is a beautiful topper, and this very metallic. Again, I have a video on this one as well. I really like, Oden's Eye has been killing it, and I've really been enjoying how many textures they bring into palettes, the playfulness of like the color stories that they have, the packagings, like they're always so stunning. I love stuff like this that has like metallic textures and a mix of like shiny and matte, and just really, really beautiful. I've really been enjoying it, and I cannot wait to see what happens in 2022 for them. I also really love Kaleidos. Kaleidos is one of my favorite brands. I think Kaleidos released 2 palettes this year. I am not going to mention my own palette. I did a collab with Kaleidos, which was the Club Nebula palette. That one came out in January, and obviously that one is my favorite palette. Like, If I were to say which is the best palette of 2021, I would say my own palette because I made it. Like, that palette is obviously stuff that I really love. But this is the Flower Punk palette. I think this is a very fun color story. I love warm greens like this. These two shimmers are beautiful. I had a lot of fun with this palette, not only on its own. I do again have a video on this one, not only on its own, but also like playing with this palette together with other things, especially with other things from Kaleidos. I've had a lot of fun with that. So yeah, this palette is beautiful as well. And I don't think that this is limited edition. I do think that you can still get a hold of that one. Ooh, this palette is so beautiful as well. I've tried a lot of palettes from Alien Cosmetics this year, and I think this one is my favorite. I really love the Not Normal palette as well. I'm pretty sure that that one is going to rank pretty high in the ranking as well. So this is the Lure palette. This is so beautiful. This is 4 mattes. Well, one of them is this wonderful matte black and this beautiful dark burgundy. And then there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 duochromes with incredible quality. I love this color story because it is on the cusp. Is it a colorful palette? Is it a neutral palette? I feel like it's colorful enough to appeal to someone like me that really loves colors, but it's also neutral enough to appeal to people that doesn't really love bright looks. I feel like this is just a beautiful palette. The shadows are stunning. I really enjoy this quality. This is such, I don't know, there's something about this. I just really love how this looks. And yeah, definitely recommend the Lure palette. Definitely recommend, I was gonna say that Alien Cosmetics has changed their name to Unearthly Cosmetics. So when I link it down below, it's gonna be to Unearthly Cosmetics. That's where they are right now, just so you know. But I do know that she didn't discontinue that palette. Who's backing up now? Can't you see I'm doing something important? I also quickly want to mention the Ace Beauty reformulation. I mean, these palettes were not released this year. They did release 2 palettes this year that I honestly have not bought yet. I'm saying yet because I can see myself buying more things from Ace Beauty as soon as I am in the States. I'm actually moving to the state where Ace Beauty is. So I don't want to buy things just to bring it to like where I'm going. That seems stupid. But this is actually my favorite palette from Ace Beauty. There's something about this color story. I love a red eyeshadow and I love a murky green with a yellow. And I really love these burgundies. This high quality eyeshadows, and love dark reds, and I love the murky green. Just really love this palette. And you might think that I would go for something that's a little bit more poppy from them, but this is actually my, from now, I haven't tried the murky green palette that they released, but this is right now the favorite palette from them. And even though this color scheme was not released this year, they did release this year the reformulation of Ace Beauty, and they went from a formula that I thought was it's okay to a formula that I love. And I ranked the reformulation really high, and therefore it didn't feel like something I would miss mentioning in my yearly favorites. One of my yearly favorites is that Ace Beauty reformulated, so now they're not only good color stories, they're also a good formulation, and I am super excited about that. Let's do some Natasha Denona. I have 2 palettes from Natasha Denona that I am gonna mention as my yearly favorites. One of them is the palette that she released for holiday. This is the Retro palette. This palette is everything that I love with an eyeshadow palette. It goes from really light to really dark, both in the shimmers and in the mattes. It has that cream to powder formula that I really love because this one works so good with layering, and there are also several different formulas when it comes to shimmers. So there are 2 different formulas when it comes to mattes, and there's at least 3 different formulas when it comes to shimmers. There is duochromes, there is this super sparkly metallic, there is more of a satin down here, and more of a metallic normal formula as well. I think that this palette is so pretty, so versatile, and even though you might look at this and be like, oh, whatever you do, you're gonna get a mauve look, definitely not, because you can go in so many different directions, because you do have some taupes here and you do have some pinks here. You don't have to go into those berries if you don't want to, and the quality is beautiful. I love berry shadows. I mean, I showed you that, or kid you not, as well, and I just think berry eyeshadow is so beautiful, and I really do love that Retro palette. I also really think that this Circle Loco palette from Natasha Denona is a beautiful palette. I had a lot of fun with this one. I know that this palette is limited edition. I'm not 100% sure if it's still available, and that's the reason why this one, you can see the comparison, that the Circle Loco is the big palette, like the $129 palette that has the more, like, the bigger eyeshadows with the more product in them. And it's because, well, according to Natasha Denona, it's because it's limited edition, and once it's gone, and people can get more product. I don't care about that. I would prefer if all shadows were her smaller palettes because I don't run through eyeshadows. I can get like how she thinks that, but I don't know of a lot of people that goes through eyeshadows. But same here, it goes from light to dark, mattes to shimmers. This is a little bit jumbled up inside, but I do have a dedicated video on this one, and there I swatched them according to color family, and you can see that it's actually more cohesive than it seems when it looks like this. I think that this is a beautiful palette. I really enjoy it. Same here, this has different formulas. It has like metallics, it has more satins, it has cream to powder, one here, and also this one here. And I just really like colorful shadows, and I like Natasha Denon's formula, so I'm happy I have this one. I think it's a really nice palette. I don't know if it's still available, but if you can find it, I definitely recommend it. Maybe see if you can get it on deal though, because she's probably, if it's still available, she's probably gonna put it on a discount soon, because she might want to get rid of it because it's limited edition. But you never know, like, I don't even know if it's still available. I have 3 palettes I want to mention from BH Cosmetics. I love BH Cosmetics. I think they make amazing eyeshadows. Again, I want to reiterate, these are great eyeshadows, not great for the price, great eyeshadows. The first one I want to mention, and this is from the Say It collection. They released, I think it was 6 eyeshadow palettes in the series, and I just want to say that I personally think that all 6 are equally good quality. All 6 are great shadows. I'm just picked out my favorite to show you, and I feel the same like with Ace Beauty reformulation. The reformulation is beautiful in all palettes, so it's not necessarily that I think that this is like the one good. The entire Say It collection was beautiful. If you could still find it, it's wonderful formulation. This just happens to be my favorite, and it is the Do Not Disturb palette. This one again, I love berries and I love blues, and this is berries and blues and like more like orchid purple shadows mixed, and it is a beautiful color story, high quality. Great shimmers, great matte, buildable, blendable, pigmented, really good quality, and I really love this entire series. I feel like the reason why this one didn't get as much hype as these Sweet Shop palettes is because it had some cuss words on the front of some of these, and I think that I don't think they should have done that. I think the Sweet Shop palettes sold better because they were more family friendly, but I will say, and I will be the one to say, these are as good quality as the Sweet Shop palettes. I said what I said. I think also these have better color stories because they're not monochromatic palettes. I thought that was a really good release. This one released really early this year, and this is the Lost in Los Angeles. It's one of their travel palettes. This is a pastel palette. Why is there a fly here? I don't understand, sweetie. You were so lost. And now we're in December. Oh, it must be so cold. I'm cold. This is a pastel palette from drugstore. If you're gonna get one pastel palette, make it this one. It is great quality pastel shadows. You will not realize that these are drugstore pastel shadows. Amazing quality, shimmers, mattes, and you have a really good matte white in here as well. You're not gonna get deep dramatic looks with this, but it is a pastel palette. This is one of the best companion palettes that I've had this year. Really do enjoy this one. And like I said, if you're gonna get one pastel palette, I would say this one. Like if you just want to try out pastels, you want to see if it's for you, get this one. It is fairly affordable and it is really good quality. This one is my favorite though. This is my new blueberry muffin. This is the blueberry muffin of 2021. This is the Passion in Paris. Damn, this is good. Ooh, this is such a good palette. This is such a good. I can't believe how good this one is. I can't believe how good this one is. This is everything that this one is not. Like this is dark and sultry and beautiful, and instead of a matte white, there is a shimmery white. You can go a little bit more muted if you keep it out here. Definitely, there are some more on not the neutral side, but more on the muted side. But there's a deep teal, there is a matte black, there is this like blurple and more purple. There are some dark burgundy mattes on the bottom. And all of these are great quality shadows. So if you wanted to add some dark, sultry, sexy shadows to your collection, I definitely recommend this one. This one layers and blends so beautifully, high quality shadows. If you don't like dark shadows, maybe this isn't for you. But if you were wondering, do I like dark shadows? I would definitely recommend this one because again, it's fairly affordable. It is incredibly good quality shadows. And this could be a nice way for you to just make some of your looks a little bit more darker, a little bit more sultry. It is a perfect palette to pull out and to deepen up looks if you feel like it needs a little bit of an oomph. if it needs a little bit of a darken up in the inner corner, if it needs a little bit of a darken up in the outer corner, this is definitely the companion palette for that. And these two together would make amazing looks. Amazing looks. Okay, let me quickly go into some things that are skincare, perfume, and hair care. There's only 6 items here, so I'm gonna do this as quickly as I can. I'm first gonna mention the one skincare item that I have added to my daily routine. I have a very set daily routine. I don't usually change up my skincare game that much, at least not during this year. I have not really changed it up that much, but I did add this serum. I did do a full review of Juvia's Skin. I got sent the entire collection as PR. I tried only Juvia's Skin for 1 full month. I showed you before and after pictures, and this was the product that I liked the most. This is the product that I'm still using. This is the product that for me works. I did give some other recommendations in that video, and I also did say about, like, if you want to see, you can watch the video. But this is the product that I added to my routine. This is the Vitamin C Serum, the Brighten and Glow. This one works really good on my skin, and I love that there's a little bit of oil in this formulation, so it really goes on nice on the skin. And I have been using this, and I've been really happy with how it makes my skin look and how it makes my skin feel. The other items, I have gone back to my normal routine. And if you want to hear more about my normal skincare routine, I also talk about that in that video. One of the best products for hair that got released this year is the Olaplex number 4P Blonde Enhancer Silver Shampoo. This is such a good shampoo. This is the best of 2 worlds. It is a silver shampoo, so it keeps the brassiness out of your hair. I have a very, more of a warm blonde tone right now, but I still don't want my hair to look too brassy, so I like to use a silver shampoo about once a week. Really like this one. A lot of silver shampoos will be pretty drying on your hair, but this one is not drying on your hair while still giving you the benefits of a silver shampoo. I think this is a really good release, and I will 1,000,000% repurchase once I'm through with this, so I definitely recommend it. And I wanted to mention it because this was released this year. This is something that wasn't released this year, but I discovered it this year through my friend Maggie. She sent me this one, and this is the this is the Color Wow Dream Coat Supernatural Spray. This is beautiful, and I didn't use this last time I fixed my hair, and I have in Sweden we will call it electric hair, but I think it will say it's static electricity in my hair. And I could visibly feel and see that my hair became more frizzy and more static when I didn't use this one. This is a spray. You spray it in your hair, and then you have to heat activate it. So I spray this in my hair when it's damp, and then I will blow dry my hair. Not only does this keep my hair shiny, it gives it some body, but it also keeps the static electricity away and makes it less frizzy, and it's just a very beautiful product. It says that this is long lasting, use every 3 to 4 shampoos, but I would say that I use it either every time I blow dry my hair, if I'm gonna be honest, which is once a week. I would say I wash my hair once a week, or I will use it every other time, but I really did need it this time because my hair is very static and I need to wash it again so that I can use this one. This really makes a difference. Now let me talk about 3 perfumes. I'm gonna quickly first talk about the perfume that was released this year that I have fallen head or heels for, and I only have the small bottle, but when I go through this I could definitely see myself getting the big one. This is from Kayali, which is the Huda Beauty brand, and this is the Invite Only Amber 23. Oh, it smells so good. This one smells like warmth and spices and a little honey. This is a spicy, and if you like spicy warm scents and you like vanilla sweetness and you want to have something that's more winter appropriate, but you don't like unisex scents, because I don't necessarily think that this is a unisex scent. And I hate this whole we describe things as female and we describe things as masculine or unisex. I don't know how to describe it in a good way. I feel like I am accepting the norm by saying stuff like that, but I just want to explain it in a way so that you understand. Personally, I feel like anyone can wear or use or have whatever they want, and I kind of hate that we have to describe it in a way like this so people would understand. But what I say with this not being unisex is not, of course, that you can't wear it if you don't identify as a woman. What I mean, of course, is that it is a little bit more sweeter, it has more vanilla and honey that I am used to liking in scents, but I still think because of the spiciness, But it just smells beautiful. So if you like vanilla scents, or if you like sweet scents, but you want to have something that's a little bit more spicy for the winter season, I definitely recommend it. It's so beautiful, and you can buy it in the small bottle if you don't want to splurge on the big one. This is one that I bought this year. This one smells so good. This one smells so good. This is from A Lab on Fire, and this is the Paris LA. I don't think that this was released this year. No way, but I bought it this year, and I have used this so much. It is so beautiful. Keynote in this one is Coca-Cola. So it smells like Coca-Cola candy, but it also has a little bit of an almost... It's hard to describe, because when you hear that, you're like, ew, I don't want to smell like that. But it still smells like perfume. It smells like the warmth and sexiness underneath. It definitely doesn't smell like candy. It doesn't smell like kids' perfume. It is definitely a grown-up perfume. It's very sexy. And if you didn't tell people this is a Coca-Cola perfume, they probably wouldn't spot it. They might be wondering, I wonder what this is reminding me of, but I think very few people would suggest Coca-Cola. But once you know, you definitely can smell it right away. It is a beautiful perfume. It has been a little hard to find, so I will try and see if I can find it and link it down below, but I really love it. The next one is not necessarily a perfume I wear out and about. I do sometimes, because who cares? This is more for nostalgia, and this is from the Library of Fragrance Demeter, and this is the fragrance called Thunderstorm. The Demeter fragrances are not necessarily maybe meant to be like super sexy or like the norm would suggest a perfume would be. These are more meant to be emulating a feeling or a specific thing. Like they have perfumes that are called cotton candy or tobacco leaf or kitten fur, like literally kitten fur. There is something so nostalgic about this. What I have used, I only bought a small sample because I didn't know if I was gonna like it, but this I'm gonna buy in a big sample. I'm gonna buy in a big bottle. This has been my go-to going to bed perfume, because this one smells like my childhood. This one smells like being outside of my grandmother's and grandfather's house. It has just been raining. The sun is coming out. You can smell the wet grass and the wet rocks and the wet dirt and just rain. You can smell the rain. And it just smells like summer over at my grandmother's and grandfather's. And there's just something very nostalgic about that. I showed this to my mom and she was like, this is not the perfume that I will wear out and about. But she was like, yeah, it does smell like rain over at their place in the summer. So it's very nostalgic for me for that reason. I have a couple of scents from Demeter and I really enjoy most of them. I think it's a really fantastic company for just emulating feelings and just different occasions and stuff like that. I really like the tomato perfume. I talked a lot about that one as well. I think it's really, really nice. And that was the last thing I want to talk about. I will link this one down below as well. I think it's beautiful. I will definitely repurchase. Let me know, do you have any what is the best product that you tried that was released this year? What do you think is the best release of 2021? Let me know down below. And like I said, if you want to see the worst makeup of 2021, that was the video I had before this one. I will also link that down in the description box in case you're interested. And I'm gonna have a video where I rank all the palettes that I've tried. If you want to see more about palettes, that one is coming. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe though, because I will see you again tomorrow for a new video. Bye!